Somebody just turned it off. All right. We are about to go on a ghost hunt.
Yeah.
That's why it's so dark. We, I don't know, it's some walking tour. We're going to go behind the fort. I don't know what to expect. They're going to give us ghost hunting equipment, tell us stories. We don't know what to expect, so we're just along for the ride. I'll give you the name of the company once I figure out. It was like when we're doing like a tour of a museum or a Spanish hospital, or we don't know what to expect. We just saw the sign, ghost hunting tonight, 8 o'clock. We're here, so join us on this adventure. We'll see you soon, okay?
So we'll be conducting our tour tonight. We are going out this tour. Absolutely. The tours around town that tell their stories, they do a fantastic job, but they're not out hunting for ghosts like we are. Now it's fortuitous that we've named the tour Spyglass because in traditional days, the spyglass was used by sailors to bring objects far away into closer focus, and that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to be out gathering evidence, hopefully bringing things into focus for us. Now, everybody has a different idea of the afterlife and ghosts and whatnot. So we ask that no one trample on anybody else's beliefs as far as the afterlife or what happens after people pass away. Without further ado, we will get started on our tour tonight. We are going to visit a couple of locations. We are going to use different stimulus to try to trigger reactions. Some places where it's useful or feasible, we'll use an audio stimulus. We'll use recordings of songs or melodies that spirits may have been used to in their time that we're targeting. Some places we use a physical stimulus as well, especially the fort.
All right, so our first stop, we're going to a cemetery. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, I think it will be.
Escaping English persecution out of Georgia. Matter of fact, Kalamata is not the name of a person, it's the name of a river, and that's where these Catholic missions were, up and down the Kalamata River in Georgia. 1763 rolls along, guess what? England now takes possession of Florida. These Catholic Indians are not going to live under British rule, so they leave with the Spanish. 1778, a group of folks arrive up into town from a failed plantation down New Smyrna. They're called Minorcans. These Minorcans are Catholic, so it's in 1778 they start using this as a Catholic cemetery. Last burial in here is going to be 1892. Think about this. There are 105 headstones in this cemetery. There's approximately 1,000 people buried. The Mission Indian burials are underneath that parking lot. We found those in the late 1970s. The Mission Church that was located here is where that house is today.
Now what we're going to do to try to stimulate some activity is talk about some of the specific folks that are, I want to stand here so talking road noises behind. Is target some of the specific burials that are in here. The little tiny headstone you see out front. That is a little boy by the name of James Morgan. James was 5 years old when he passed away of yellow fever. He passed away in the year 1877. Now, 1877 is only 12 years past the end of the Civil War. The headstones you see lined up behind James back there, all the very similar white headstones that look like military headstones because they are. Those are all Civil War veterans. There are Union and Confederate soldiers buried in here as well. The connection between all of those is this. When James was 5 years old, the most popular toy in the country was a toy drum. What little kids were doing, they were imitating the children that would lead the troops into battle, playing the cadence for the troops that would march into battles of the Civil War. Now remember, this is only 12 years past the Civil War, so think Second Gulf War. It's about that long ago.
Came to St Augustine, in charge of St Augustine Militia, fought in the Gallo rallies and Irish priests that came to us and he wanted to supervise the construction of the What was the first one? Or even song. Oh.
So,
Fine.
It was so. I know who you're talking about.
we did something in New Orleans, but
Do what?
There are a few family plots in there.
But they don't do like you're talking about in New Orleans, where they can't bury them in the ground, so they put them in there, and as they decompose, they just push them over back. Yeah, I took those tours too. Did you see Nicholas Cage's? Did you go to the one that has Nicholas Cage's? 2 minutes. He didn't let us know. We went. I took on one of the tours. He has a plot in City Cemetery number 1, I believe it is. Good point. He did really well though. It was hilarious. The tour, the guy giving us the tour, this is a morning tour of the cemetery, and we bought our tickets online through TripAdvisor. We were playing tourists, just like you guys are, and I got a text as we're heading to it, and he goes, "The tour starts here," and it was a picture, and then he had drawn an arrow to a dot where the tour was going to start. I was like, that is so funny. It's literally like, it looked like it was like the spray paint looking arrow. So funny. The first buried here, my goodness, it was even before it was a Catholic cemetery. It was actually a native burial ground.
Nope, my fault.
I don't know if you can see us, but okay. We just left the cemetery, and now we're heading to the fort, I believe. So they say it's a hotbed of activity.
So before we get too far away, you're going to steps. Do please watch your step. They are not uniform size.
Okay.
Oh, do you have any idea how excited I am? 15,000.
How many?
15,000.
Look at this. This is the fort. Apparently, it's a hotbed of activity.
I love these.
Yeah.
Look at this guy.
Do watch your step, please. Nice and careful. Yeah, see the giant big step there.
Yes.
That was not well constructed.
Oh wow.
I wish they'd have made him out of coquina because you really couldn't see him. The ground is uneven, so do watch your step. Step carefully if you would, please.
Careful. No drinking.
Yes. I thought somebody said Kevin.
Oh.
Yeah, that
I did hear.
Oh.
it can be just that subtle. I had that happen in Charleston, South Carolina.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got mad at my wife. I'm like, why do you keep talking to me? She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, oh.
Oh.
It was in a restaurant too.
What?
It's called Poogan's Porch. If you ever go to Charleston, go to Poogan's Porch. It is supposedly haunted by Poogan, the neighborhood dog, who sits on the porch and will brush up against you as you're sitting at tables.
Aw,
But also,
sweet.
I heard a disembodied.
Castillo de San Marcos, Castle of St. Mark's, Fort
Wait,
Marion.
before he gets too far, try to filter out the Boston accent.
But why do you pride yourself?
Exactly. British Americans named her Fort Marion. She is the oldest masonry fort in the United States. She is fort number 10 here. The last wooden fort was actually built across the street where Colonial Quarter is today. Spanish built her, had her to 1763. British took over for 21 years. Spanish come back, and then the United States will finally get her in 1821, naming her Fort Marion after Francis Marion.
Agreed to this. This must have been your mark you gave us. Well, of course, you didn't think that was it, and they went right back to raiding the American settlements. That was not going well, so General Jessup, in another fantastic move, called for a peace negotiation and asked the leaders of the Seminole to come up to St. Augustine to negotiate a treaty that they would accept. So 81 warriors, including Osceola, rode their horses up just over by Moultrie Creek, met the American forces under a white flag of truce. The Americans took them all captive and captured them under a white flag of truce, which is absolutely dirty pool, to put it lightly. They were imprisoned right here in this building. In fact, right behind those walls in this corner of the building was where the Seminoles were held. Stamping down the grass to be able to build the settlement in the now flattened grass. It actually worked out pretty well. And I saw these gentlemen do this live, and that is all men singing, by the way.
No.
Now, when we speak to the Seminole warriors that were held here and we speak English, that's perfectly acceptable because they would have spoken English as good as you or I. Got to remember, this is the 1800s. They were in the United States, and like I said, we got a word come up on the obelisk, and I'm like, I don't even know what that means. I think it's gibberish. So we had to stop, and of course, like every good investigator in the world, we pulled up Google, and we looked up in Google, and it was a Spanish word. And so this isn't there's no Spanish dictionary in this program. It just created a Spanish word. It said key.
Interesting.
Sometimes you get words that are gibberish. Sometimes we get words that are very meaningful. Please take as many pictures as possible. Gabrielle is the name. Record. Yes. The pictures will record things that are happening. So please take as many videos and pictures as you like. Also, About here with us tonight, you could turn that light on for us. That would be fantastic. Like that. A lot of times it's been my experience, as soon as you put an object down that is strange to a spirit, they will investigate it, see what it is, touch it, grab it, whatever, and stuff like that starts to happen. Tablet. I don't know why we got tablet. Interesting.
All right, so we're gonna step back for just a second. Okay, so I haven't really seen much. Katie says that she got touched in the back. Felt like an acorn hit her in the back. There's no acorns when I'm standing under any trees. And then I felt something tug on my little collar here. But that's just, I don't know. We're going to continue. First, we got to find a bathroom.
When the Americans got control of the territory, they built the seawall a little bit higher. It's actually higher than it was even during that period. They had large cannons all down the front of this wall as well. Like I said, it wasn't actually poured up until 1900. It almost gets us into World War I. That startled me when that light came on. I didn't realize she was dead.
Uh-huh.
The fort actually has presentations every
Yeah, you get tours.
we try to
All right, we're headed back to where we started.
Yeah.
Into the museum. And what we know about museums is whenever there's artifacts, some things attach themselves to artifacts. So this building is built in 1865.
Yeah.
So
The original one was
yeah.
thousands of years ago, but it's not there anymore.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
actually ask for
We go in here?
Yeah, follow.
All right, but we're going to go inside the building, but I just wanted to let everybody know before we go inside, we actually have a spirit that we've interacted with. We know her name. We don't put that name out. We feel she's an older female. We think she lived here during the time where this was a black boarding house, so the early 1900s. Her life would have probably been pretty rough. If we've gotten the age right on the time frame, she either just missed slavery or she would have experienced it as a young person. Either way, it would have been a tough time in her life. So we're going to head upstairs to our room up there where we have the best results with her. So follow me.
You ready?
Yeah.
Let's go meet Zoe. I swear she's got to be in that room. I don't know. I keep feeling someone watching.
Do you watch your step on the stairs because they are not entirely uniform. They're really close and well built, but they've had repairs from time to time, and they tend to not be exact.
Get your phone up. Let's let somebody just turn it off.
Come in, have a seat where we again. We're probably going to want people in seats, so I'm going to stand. That is the third time tonight I have gotten 7 or the number 7. That's weird.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
Sorry, I have some stuff I need to get.
So what Ariel does here is she uses, what are those cards called?
Lenormand cards, and I'll explain some of that when we
Okay,
get started.
she's going to explain what this is. It's not tarot cards, it's a different form of it, but we've had some pretty good interaction. Got another.
Yeah, if you want a seat, you can take one. Kevin, I just need this one, and Kevin was just leaving one for anybody who wanted. But you won't cause any problems. Sorry, I'll be
You
out.
got the flashlight set up?
Trying.
What'd she say?
Wild. It may seem kind of wild in here because usually we have 3 or 4 people, so we have quite a few in here tonight, so that's kind of cool. She may think we're a school group.
And the cards that I'm using, like I said, they're called Lenormand cards, and they are French, and they have been around since at least the 1800s, but technically the thing that they came from started in like the 1700s. So they originally just came from a regular playing card game. So these are the cards I was telling you about, where they have pictures on them, and they mean things, and she can use them to tell us a story. And so what she's told us so far is that she basically told us that her early life. What is it? We don't have one. There aren't any of those in Florida.
Hopefully we don't have one that we don't know about.
So
Not to
she's
interrupt
told
her,
us.
but we did get one time it said stairs, and Kevin ran over and took a picture of the stairs, and there was a spirit ribbon on the stairs
So
in the
sometimes
picture.
it'll tell us to
It
go
tells us where it
places.
is. A lot of times this thing will stay. It feels like it's walking around the building. It'll say portrait, and then it'll say table, and it'll say the different things that are actually pretty prominent in the museum, which is kind of crazy.
Literally nothing scary has ever happened in this room, and the lady who so far has talked to us every time is the one who seems to be really nice, and she likes kids.
She likes
We are
children.
pretty sure she died when she was old. I don't know, but we think she was older and maybe a grandma when she died. So you and your brother probably have the least story about it.
This is a song called Traveling Shoes, and the story of it is,
Was the K2 doing that before the song went on?
Yeah, it's gonna do that all the time.
the song is about someone has passed away, and to travel to the promised land, they need to have shoes, and they don't have enough money to have shoes to go to heaven. It's a very bluesy, kind of depressing song. But this is actually a folk song out of Alabama that has its origins in Negro spirituals from the days even before the Civil War. And this is a woman by the name of Vera Hall Ward singing this. And as you can tell, it's actually a vinyl recording.
So it's interesting. Something that I've noticed is usually every time before I do this, when we play this, at one point it'll spike red, and I'm hoping that means that Zoe showed up. But this stuff is all really hard to quantify. It's a lot of guesswork. So yeah, I'm kind of just opening up to, like I said, I'm hoping it'll be Zoe, but to anybody in the house who'd like to talk with us. And so, like I said, it's a series of, there's 36 cards, and they all mean different things, and when you put them together, they can make stories. So.
Real.
Cool. That's reassuring. So the way I'm going to start is 1, 2, 3, and then I'll build the story from here, or hopefully she will upside down. That's all right. So the lilies, the book, and the key. And so what I'm going to do next is, I wonder if that's related to the lilies. That usually means an older member of the family. And sometimes it's a happy card, and sometimes it's not necessarily negative, but sad, like it might be someone who's passed away. So she might be telling us about the end of her life. I shouldn't guess because I don't know what the story is yet. So, well, I can't yet.
We're not leaving it. We're not leaving it.
That might also actually be related to the card.
What we worry about with stuff like the ovulus is if we're getting part of a message, like somebody may be saying, "Don't leave," and you get leave. And you're like, oh, is that for us? Is that not for us? So,
Okay. So what's happening now is the cards that are underneath it are the cards that are going to explain to me a little bit more about what we're seeing here. Did all these upside down?
That's my name.
Kate's your name? Really?
We've gotten Kate actually twice tonight. We
Yeah,
didn't realize
that's
that
the
was her name,
second.
or we
I didn't know
would've
that
told
was
you.
your name, but
That's
we
my
got
nickname. I'm Caitlin, but that's my nickname.
Kate twice. So somebody might be.
Refer to Zoe while she's talking to us. The dog could mean her dog, the one that she's told us about before. I'm going to say yes, because we have the dog and the child together. So I'm going to say that either she's talking about the dog that she's told us about before that meant a lot to her, and that actually is why she decided that she liked us being here, because he has 3 dogs, and she seems to approve of that. And the child can mean an actual child. So it could mean youth or innocence, but I'm wondering here. So we have a vapor ghost with us, or it was trying to say something else. That's possible. But she might also be saying to us something now, so maybe she's telling us something about one of you. Either way, if it makes you feel any better, all of the cards in this row are happy cards. So if she is saying something about one of you, it's something else. The key can be not with a K. Where's your soap?
Yeah, twice. And I'm worried against bondage. Not me like she thinks.
Oh. That was way less funny.
Yeah, that's funny money. Bad money.
In the room, and sometimes we'll pick on guests. That's what happened not last time, but the time before that. When after I left, she started messing with the guy who was trying to be all...
She was communicating with him. Actually, we did we had the EVP that said, "Do you like it when the children are in here?" And that's when we got a yes on that, a very faint yes on the children. And then the Ovilus said 5. And the guy kind of freaked out. It was a couple that was with us, and the guy kind of freaked out. And I'm like, "What's wrong?" He goes, "Well, we have 5 children, and actually, they're all his children." He says, "I have 5 children," and then the Ovilus said 7, and then he turned white as a sheet
He did not want
because he had one child in Germany that was his by an affair, and he had one child that had passed away. He actually had 7 children. Knew that, and I thought he was gonna pass out when that thing said 7, because he's like, dude, Santa Barbara Hospital Museum here in the Courier House. I hope you're happy we're here as well. If you're happy with us, you could let us know. You sing, do you like the for lack of a better word, salsa music that's being played? It was nice at first. I find it a little annoying now.
That
So you
was
may not like
holding
it.
steady this whole time, then started flickering, and now it's spiking.
And mine went down to 2 greens. I was doing yellow until that thing started spiking and mine dropped down.
Well, if there's anything else you'd like to tell us, I'm going to end the recording now. So, also, it seems someone has attached themselves
When?
You win?
to Kate here. Apparently we have. Would you like to say anything directly to Kate? All right. And then, so we'll, if you guys want to listen to that.
wasn't trying to be insulting.
You know,
Like I said, sometimes we aren't super, like a vat of
Like a
something,
vat or
but
something,
like,
yeah.
sometimes I think they're doing their best, but it's weird technology for them. And yeah, I think we just get partial stuff sometimes. But yeah, that was interesting.
Alright, this is Kevin. We're with the Spyglass Ghost Adventure. We are back in the Carrera House. It is September 28th. Did I get the right this now? We are upstairs in the room to the right. We would like to know if Zoe is here with us tonight. If Zoe, if you're here with us, I know you know how to use this black box with the red light on it.
Quarantines.
Quarantines. Wow.
Heck no.
If there's anyone else, you can speak right into this black box and let us know you're here. You can tell us your story as well.
Is it?
I literally just said soften my release.
I think you may be somewhat sensitive.
Would you like to look at the cards?
And you
I am
can
Pisces.
you can actually work on that, but you just have to try to calm yourself, try to focus on stuff, but you may be able to pull that out that you are, because obviously at the fort you had an experience, and it mentioned your first and last name.
Yeah, it did.
So clearly
Yeah,
something
that
is
is-
up with you. Let's see. Breaker. Breaker. It said beside and then it said breaker.
We have a breaker here.
There's all kinds
The
of
light
breakers.
breaker.
Oh.
So So that one's a safe. That's one of the.
I wouldn't
there's
be
only
surprised
about
that we didn't get a
seven.
lot. Maybe we didn't get a lot of interaction. Or
But
if you're,
there is
being
only
she
about
has
7
let us know
cards
that
in
she
there
really
that
likes
mean
kids,
something,
she may not want to
negative.
scare the kids.
And
She
so
may
the safe
realize
means
that that
something
is
is
scary.
coming to an end.
That was last night.
Okay, so we're done. It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
It wasn't
We
a
didn't
whole
get
lot of
much
activity,
activity.
but when we were doing the okay, so Katie got tapped on the shoulder when we were at the fort,
Yeah.
and then
Almost like an acorn.
I kind of felt like something was tugging me on the back, but that might have just been when she said she got tapped. I was thinking, oh, what about me? I don't know, but
Yeah.
anyway. So then, is this the way out? Okay. So then, it mentioned her name twice
But the first and last.
upstairs when we were in the house on the voice thingy, and then it said our last name. I didn't get that.
Yeah.
I guess the K2 meter spiked a few times.
Yeah.
It was fun. I didn't feel anything that much. I don't know, but it was neat. It was a neat experience. Maybe we'll do some other tour, or maybe we'll get our own ghost hunting equipment and start our own. So anyway,
Apparently I'm sensitive.
she's very sensitive. So anyway,
That's a good
so
thing, I think.
yeah. So anyway, we're gonna finish it up. We're gonna get something to eat, drink, whatever. Until the next adventure.
Bye.
Bye. Oh wait,
Oh.
don't forget to like and subscribe, please. After that, bye.
Bye.